Hey everyone, and welcome back. See, I'm making more tutorials as promised. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about shoulder hooping. Now shoulder hooping, there are two differences. This is shoulder hooping and this is chest hooping. So when people ask that, sometimes it can be a little confusing, as well as other kind of tips and tricks about shoulder hooping in general, and that's what today's video is going to be about. It's not going to be exactly how to shoulder hoop. So if you understand shoulder hooping, then you're in a good place. If not, I'll link some videos down below to help you with that. I'm going to be talking a little bit about some tips and tricks with shoulder hooping itself, like I said. So I'm going to do a quick example of what I'm going to be teaching, and then I'll get right into it. So with shoulder hooping, a lot of people have a tendency of kind of having one leading arm. This is very exaggerated, but what we want to look like is more fluid. And if we want to stay stationary, which is even harder, we want to really make sure that we're keeping our shoulders out and that we're not T-Rexing as well. If you guys don't know what T-Rexing is, it's when someone, kind of has lazy hands when hooping. So we want to really think about having graceful hands and graceful shoulders. So that's what I'm going to be teaching today, is how to kind of refine your shoulder hooping. So what we really want to start out with is understanding not having that leading arm. To really balance that out, focus on your opposite arm that so if your right arm, for instance, for me, is my kind of like leading arm. So to balance that out, you want to think about giving both shoulders the same amount of push, kind of like you're pushing the hoop out. So practice with your opposite arm that's a little harder to work with, just to kind of get comfortable with that. A good way to really even that out is called mountain. Is that right? Mountain? It's called mountain. And mountain is when you're kind of going to open your arms out, kind of like a mountain, and pushing forward. This is a hoop path technique, and this is one that really helped. So think, for me, I go 1, 2, 1, 2. Think about switching up which arm is leading, because you can still lead with that arm, except you just kind of make it look a little bit less, crazy. So if you try to practice leading with your left and your right, then you kind of understand, you kind of get strength with both of your arms. So think about pushing out with both of your arms, and then when you can do that, you can really kind of even your shoulders out, so people wouldn't really know which one's your leading shoulder. Another tip for that, I don't know if you guys can tell with my body, but I'm kind of moving back and forth. I'm not just standing still. I mean, it's workable because I've been doing this a long time, but it really helps to push your body. And so kind of back and forth rocking motions. I'll kind of exaggerate it a little bit. Yeah. So pretty much what you want to do is kind of lean into the hoop. And it's an exercise, so this is going to be one that's going to really get your cardio going. So we're switching. I'm kind of going at an angle here, and I'm not meaning to, but it's happening, so I'm going to go with it. So I'm rocking back and forth, and I'm rocking all the way from my feet. So start all the way from your roots, all the way up, and push. Now, when you're turning, it might kind of look silly, but you're kind of going to lift your feet up and do that same rocking motion. And when you're doing this, it's going to push the hoop as well. So when you kind of get all of that memorized with your muscles and stuff and your movements, then is when you can really start adding in the next step. And when you understand having a stable shoulder hooping and you're not going like this, is when you can really free up your arms and work with them independently to look pretty, or whatever you want it to look like within your dance. So hopefully that makes sense with you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. We're always here to help, and I hope that this worked for you today, and good luck. Bye. I also want to plug my show real quick before I go, because every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a show on hoopinglive.com where it'll be me as well as a panel of hoopers live in person or in internet person, and we're going to be able to be there and teach you things right then and there. So it's like a live tutorial. So come with your comments and questions. If you have any comments or questions about what you learned today, then you can bring them there and we can work on it one-on-one and help everyone else learn. See you next time.